You should do something right now, and I mean right now. Check your driver's license to see if it's Real ID compliant or not. We are less than a month away from that information really mattering and potentially impacting your next vacation. You can tell if your driver's license is Real ID compliant by looking at the top of it. If you see a star, you're fine. If you don't, well, you could soon encounter problems when you head to the airport. That's because beginning May 7th, TSA is expected to enforce the rule requiring a Real ID compliant ID in order to travel.
Travelers traveling without a Real ID compliant ID or another acceptable form of identification should be prepared to experience some delay at the TSA security checkpoints that will potentially impact their travel. Bottom line is that it's best to get your Real ID sooner rather than later so you don't risk missing your flight.
Now, we should be clear, there have been deadlines regarding this before. The original law that calls for Real ID was passed way back in 2005 after 9/11. But after nearly 20 years worth of delays regarding final implementation, it's believed this time the government is really serious. You might think that by now most Americans would have a Real ID. After all, states have had the process in place for years. But numbers do tell a different story. The TSA reported in recent weeks that only 80% of travelers passing through their security checkpoints use an acceptable form of ID going forward. That suggests many Americans are still traveling without a Real ID. Remember, if your driver's license isn't Real ID compliant, a passport would work just fine if you have to travel in the coming weeks and can't find an appointment at a local DMV. A number of DMVs across the country have reported long wait times because of the anticipated deadline ahead. Joe St. George, Scripps News Group, Washington.